everyone, it's Carolyn, here to share more channeled messages from the Light Keepers, a group of angelic beings who I channel for your awakening and ascension journey support. So thank you so much for joining me today. So lately I've had a lot of synchronicity and a lot of interesting things happening in my personal journey, but a lot of it has to do with understanding the ascension process in general. Today, what this is kind of a mid-month, they just said power booster, like to boost you, to keep you going. But it's also talks about the ascension process. So there's a lot shifting and changing in my journey, and I'm getting a lot of information that feels like putting together the story of ascension and how it works within our human body and in our human experience, and how the ancients fit into that process. And I'm not ready to really talk about all that, and whether I will be or not, I don't know, but it feels like it's leading to that. And what you're also going to find is in the next couple of videos after this one, I'm going to share with you more conversation with Jennifer, who I've done videos with before, and it's on this topic too. So I think we're really getting to some places here where it's the more detailed understanding of what the ascension process is and what you can do and how you fit into that equation. And they always offer things you can do at the ground level, at our own individual level, and they do speak to that in this channel as well. And I always try to make that point in mind too, to really bring it down home to what we can do. But again, we're really talking broad picture ascension process in the next probably 3 videos I'm going to do. You're going to find it really interesting, I think. I'm kind of one of those people who, I'm a big picture person, and so I'm able to put big chunks of information together to understand a kind of a global process or a large process. But I'm also able to take you into the detail. But my forte is to understand distinct pieces that may fit into the whole. So this feels like this is a part of a new part of my journey for me. And then expressing what makes sense out to you. So thank you for joining me today again. I'm Carolyn. I'm a channel. I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor. And I offer these channels for your awakening and ascension journey. And I always say, I hope you take a couple things away that help you understand more in your own journey forward. And the rest of it you can toss away. Hopefully a lot of it resonates or adds to the story of your journey too, and what you understand. So with that, today I want to welcome all newcomers, everybody who has not seen me before. And thank you so much for joining me. I offer a lot of videos on the spiritual awakening process itself, and most recently in the last, I'll say, year or two, I have started doing many more energy updates, kind of real-time stuff that's happening, but also helping understand the spiritual awakening and ascension journey. So if you're new and you haven't already joined my email list, I think you'll want to, because what I do is I give you a channeled message every week. Friday or Saturday of the week prior, you're going to get in your email a channel from the Light Keepers who encourage you moving forward. They help you understand your journey. They're so positive and uplifting. And if you'd like to join me, click on the link below in the description box under this video, and you're going to see a link that will take you to a free video, first of all, on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness. But then it'll directly move you over into subscribing to my email list. Again, basically, I send out an email a week, and it helps encourage you on your way forward. So join me there too. Again, I would love if you like, share, and subscribe. It helps me reach more people and share these messages of support and this journey that we're all making ultimately. All right, so today, very similarly, I have a long channel that literally just showed up. I did not expect this. I know I say that all the time, but I really just did not expect this. And so I sat down. I knew something was there ready to be offered to me. And as I usually do, I channeled the Light Keepers, and then I stop, because I'm also getting information as I'm channeling, which is kind of interesting. They channel through me, okay, their words, in their words, and then they channel through me in my words. All right, so it's all channeled information. It's just who's speaking, okay? So they'll speak first, you'll see. Then I'm going to speak, and I will tell you that. And then I think they have another piece that they close out with. So I think it's fascinating. I am never bored by this work, so just know that I get as excited as you do about some of this information that comes through. So with that today, I am going to just read. If I have anything to comment on at the end, I will, but just know that most of this is in this channeled message. I hope you enjoy this. All right, here we go. Where are you these days? Looking for your hopes and your dreams? setting aside the worry of the things that you see around you. For swirl around you, oh yes they do, coming from the skies and all around you too. And yet you seem to find a passageway through all of the din in your day. You hear and you know, and you set it aside and you move about your day, bringing greater light into your own being in time. For it is about vibration of what you choose to bring into your day. The lighter you are as you move through the awakening and the greater of ascension. Floating above you will. It is a frequency, we say, that will keep you out of the swill. So as we have said many times before, it is what you do with your own energy field and more. What do you bring into yourself, we say? Is it bringing you up or down in your day? Move in and out, yes you do, but it is a journey to find your own recipe in time. A lighter grace you will find. This is what ascension is in time. Not leaving yourself, we say, but taking yourself along in your day. For that is the goal. For as your frequency rises, so do you. Your body is shifting and changing. Understand, this will be even seen more in your day as you move through the rest of the year. Over the years to come in time, you ascend further, for you know the way to a lighter grace in your day. Your thoughts are things, yes, we say too, and you will manifest more of the greater understanding of who you are, the great I am, just as the great ones were in time. The way forward, we say, Jesus, the one who showed you the way along with the others in time, your great prophets too. It is for you to be the same, coming out of the abyss of what humankind has created in your day. For it is a long, deep hole, oh, we find, but you're climbing out and moving forward quickly in time, grasping along each day, knowing the way to the lighter of the days. For this is what you are learning in the awakening. You know it and you feel it in your body as it is learned in time and led by your higher self, we say. The soul of you that knows the way. Let it go and let it be. Surrender, and then you will see. Many of you now know how to build the foundation in time. It is the platform for launching off, just like the rocket ship in your day. It must have the boosters ready. The platform for you of stability, too, in your day. These are your practices, setting aside of things that no longer serve you in time, lower frequency activities, and those who no longer vibrate with you. This is not a judgment. Each to their own will come in their day, but you are shifting and moving. It is as the rocket on the platform. But the platform has to have stability in order for the rocket to launch off. For this creates momentum of stability. For if you do not have your foundation set in your own life of how you will move forward in your day to gain the light of all time, reclaiming yourself, the I am of you, you cannot launch off with cracks in your foundations. And yes, everyone in their day steps back one and moves forward two. Just know this is a practiced effort of building your foundation of stability and strength for the body of you with the shift and change of the cellular way, the deep inside thoughts and things, the great desires and passions and inspirations, the world you wish to see in your life first and foremost. What do you want for it in your day? And as you build the body of you, you've created the foundation and now are ready. For each is incremental, rising in vibration when you have your foundation created in your way. And then I speak because I'm getting visions and I'm getting information. So this goes back to the conversation of always cross-checking our practices and our self-care. This is so critical. And our human world does not reward this kind of activity in human life, which oftentimes for us can be isolation, which oftentimes can be choosing we're not going to necessarily, hang out with certain people any longer, or choosing to go against the grain of thought of not being involved in day-to-day, whatever, politics, day-to-day strife, the whole duality. So this is a journey, and no wonder. Now you're showing me the prophets of old. Whatever faith that is, they were ostracized and they were set aside. They led lonely lives for the most part, other than the fact that they knew deep inside they weren't alone, but they were often singular and teaching. But again, they were not part of mainstream society. And this is what we are finding now. Now there are many more of us at the present time moving forward in this, but at the same time, in our society, we have more, I guess I'll just say, against us in the sense of what we see in 3D in moving forward in our light and our grace. It does not support us. However, with more awakening and coming into the light, we have a greater community, and that's bonding together. Ooh, what you're showing me is linking arms. You're showing, a linking of arms, and as we link arms and we connect in further, we continue to grow on our own, and we learn from each other. Oh, that strength. It's like, oh, you just said peptide. Peptide. Building the bonds, you just said. Okay, yeah, okay. So we link arms. You're showing this. It's like you're showing it in kind of a molecular form, on a cellular level, like how cells join together, and we create stronger together. But we also have to constantly keep cross-checking ourselves and where we are with our own foundation. And we may have to fix our foundation. We may see a crack there where we thought that was done and said, and we have to go back and we have to reframe things. So this is part of the journey. It's not one and done. It's 2 steps forward, 1 back. But it doesn't mean you're going backwards. It means you're reclaiming things. You're building things stronger for yourself to move forward. Ultimately, what we will be finding is this then allows us, okay, whoa, you just said transcend the known environment. Oh, okay. And then the light keepers say, invisibility, it will feel, we say, for those of you who've gained the greater light in your day. Down the road, you'll find it too, for the body will go with you. This is the idea of ascension. You do not leave, but you become a light body. But it is your body that you are in, we say, in time, and your health and well-being. And we know many of you do not feel good in your day, but this is the transition to the greater of the body. It must shift and change out of the situation you find yourself in, growing a new aura to begin with strength and health of you. This is what you travel in, your auric field, the bubble of you in your day. This is your light body. Yes, we find, and when it becomes stronger and with greater strength, you know you will feel it in time. And this allows you to travel. And then I come in because I'm getting all this information and I say, ooh, you're showing, oh my gosh, it's like what our soul travels in, our auric field, our pod, our energy pod in essence. And as we build that auric field, we build our energy body out. And because our cellular structure is changing, we're now aligning with this new way of being that will. Ooh, wait a minute, you're really showing the body in like a small cocoon, but that's our auric field, that's our light body, and that it's like we're in a cocoon. That's your metaphor. Okay, so now what you're showing, you're trying to explain this, and I really have chills. What we have around us in our journey and our human 3D journey allows us to, okay, now you're showing the auric field again. Okay, we take that in, and then we allow us around our journey, and in our, like I said, our human 3D journey, that then allows us to create a lighter body. The choices we make in this journey of what we surround ourselves with, and that platform that we create, that foundation. Okay, so here's the thing. In 3D human form, if we're surrounded by, lower vibration kinds of activities and whatnot, that's what we're allowing into our field, into our own body. We're going to become heavier and more dense. When we move into the deciding what's not right for us, what no longer serves us, and the deciding on the things that are, I guess I'll just say, healthy for us to build that strong foundation, that's when our fields, our energy fields gain in light, and our body then is able to actually take that in, use that energy to become a lighter grace. So it is what we see on the outside. It's what we choose to see, choose to involve ourselves in, that then creates, that helps turn that switch on in the light body. Our body is shifting and changing, and at the same time, the auric field is the pod in which we travel. I don't know, hopefully this makes sense to everyone, but that's why it's so important to be aware of what we take in on a daily basis into the environment of us individually. We all can't control every single thing that happens, but what we can do is do the foundational work for ourselves and do the energy clearing, which is super important right now. Energy clearing on a daily basis and finding your path forward. Because we are turning into those light bodies. It's about that transition from the dense body we are in and adding more light to it, more energy. That's a difference. It's a change in frequency. As we change in the energy that we allow into ourselves, our light body shifts and changes, for better or for worse. We want to maintain a high vibration light body, so it's key that we constantly look again at what we've created as the foundation. Don't assume it's one and done. We as humans have for so long been slipping back further. And again, we don't want to shame ourselves for having to redo something, but you can look at it as habits, certain habits, things that you know don't serve you. Well, that's a journey to start anew and not to carry those forward with us. Many of us are going through that right now, of clearing out those remnants of things that we know don't serve us. Even if it's people in our world, people in our vicinity, jobs, habits, it's all up for grabs. And in particular, those who we are associating with right now. You're going to be coming into a time here. It feels very much like a downhill slide, October, November, December, where you're going to shift in the way you see yourself and making some tough choices. Those choices will come your way where you will be presented. It looks like there will be a choice or choices that are made for you that may feel as though something is being done to you that is bad. And yet at the same time, this may be the catalyst for you to move forward in your journey, to remove something from your path that has been blocking you. Yeah, so oftentimes that will happen. As we've said, this is the upside down. What looks like a bad thing happening ultimately down the road, we see the silver lining. And oftentimes it takes us in a completely different trajectory. So what we're going to be seeing here, it feels like this next few months, is we're going to be presented again. It feels very much with like making decisions about how you want to be treated and how you will treat others and who will be in your awareness. This is what you're telling me. We're very much stripping down. It feels very much narrowing what we will take into our energetic selves and into our physical bodies. Narrowing down what we will take into our 3D world. It feels like a narrowing down, like a lot of decision making, because this keeps showing we're at the top of the slide of October to move down and down, going down the slide until we go into January of 2022. And this feels like a time of, oh, you just said great renewal. Yes. And it feels as though there will be some events around us that could dissuade us, like global events, that would dissuade us from staying strong and true to what we know is ultimately full of light and grace. So that's what we want to be aware of. Whatever happens in the collective, do not allow that to take you off your path and your journey. Yes, you might take a step back, but you'll keep moving forward. It's very important to understand. Don't jump off the train. Stay on the train. Oh, you just said don't abandon ship. Yep, exactly. Because this is just another one of those situations. And maybe we can talk about what we feel that situation is going to be. I think that's the light ball in the sky in the last video for the October update. I don't recall exactly the specifics, but we were commenting on how all would look to the sky and see. Oh, you just said cosmic event to be. And then the light keepers finish up the channel by saying the following. Some will see and some won't, but it'll be a sign forward. And many will emote and see and say, oh yes, what was that bright star, in the sky? Many others won't, we say too. But those that do, it will be a purpose for them. But also, each will know shifts and changes coming in the day. Greater than you know. Faster than, yes, a blink of an eye. Energetic it will be. Propelled by the forces of the collective too. Governments and politicians join arms, but do not, and create more chaos in their day, shaking things up. For this is purposeful. Understand that we say to look from outside the looking glass and see what is presented for you in your day. Stay strong and true, for we are forever and always with you. We appreciate your work, for you know not what you do. The strength of all that surrounds you, the work you have done, oh yes, we find, staying stronger and true to what you know humankind is meant for. Keep on visioning all of what you wish for those around you and yourself. A better day is coming, for it is written in stone, oh yes, we say. Okay, I always have chills at the end and feel like I just have to take a huge deep breath because they seem to be ending their channels lately with these beautiful sayings. So I hope you enjoyed that. So just a couple of things I wanted to comment on. You know, the light in the sky that they talked about. And again, if you haven't watched that video, you probably want to go back and watch the October energy update that I just did. But they showed a light in the sky that all will see. And yet what I didn't know, and I still kind of don't know, is it an energetic event that we just know and feel within all of us, but we wouldn't know to talk about it to someone else, right? We may have a shift and change in our own journey collectively, all right? But it may be preceded by an event in our 3D. Now they talk about a cosmic event. You know, that can be a lot of things. So what I would just say is they're still talking a bit in riddles, and I, again, am getting as much as I can right now for you guys, because I know some of you are really interested in what's the ball of light in the sky. Again, it may be a metaphor for our own journeys, but I will tell you right now, what I very much am getting, and again, it's toward the end of October, I want to say the third or fourth week, something energetic is going to affect all of us. And so again, I say this could be a collective energetic upgrade that you won't know if your neighbor's getting it, but you're going to know something's happened with you. You know, kind of like we do in our journey, we know we've shifted and changed. And oftentimes these things are collective, divine situations that happen, but we don't really know that it's happened to every single person, right? But it also may be something that we actually see, that we experience. So I hope that helps a little bit. But again, I just love their messages of encouragement. So I hope this is helpful because they're really starting to talk about the ascension process more and what this really means about creating the new earth and how this is going to work for us in our bodies. I am getting so much synchronicity in the last week on signs and messages. Again, it's for my own journey, but it's things I'm unraveling and discovering. And I'm hoping to be able to put this into a video or a story for you, some of which is already showing up here in this particular channel, and to be able to continue to piece this whole idea of what ascension looks like and what it is and how it will work. Again, if you take something today away from me, just one piece from this channel to add to your journey, that's fantastic. Hopefully it has been helpful to you today. And what I want to close with, and many of you know this already, is I am reading, I'm just going to show it again, the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ. He was here as a teacher to teach us that we have this strength inside each of us. And he came as that messenger for us. And what this book does, it's so cool. It's a channeled piece, as I've mentioned before, from the early 1900s. So I'm going to read a piece out of this that ties to this. I just think it's so interesting. So remember, this is about his missing years and his missing teachings. And I'm just going to say, it's fantastic. Remember, it's not religion. It's him as a messenger speaking to all of us. And remember, you kind of have to think of it outside the way we were taught if you grew up in a Christian faith. So just really listen deeply to these words. So I'm going to read this piece from the book that Jesus speaks to as he's encountering a priest who does not believe. And there's a lot to unpack here, frankly, particularly in this first paragraph. And I'm not going to unpack it, but I think you'll see what I'm talking about as you hear it. I'm just going to read this. It'll take a few minutes, but I think it'll add to the story. But Jesus said, "Sir, you are a learned man. You surely know the law of life. Pray tell, who were the sons of God we read about in Genesis, who took to wife the daughters of the sons of men? Our father Adam, who was he? From whence came he? Had he a father, or did he fall from heaven as a star? We are the children of this Son of God. Then tell me, learned priest, Who are we if not sons of God? The priest had urgent business, and he went his way. And Jesus said, all men are sons of God, and if they live a holy life, they are always at home with God. They see and understand the works of God, and in his sacred name they can perform these works. The lightnings and the storms are messengers of God, as well as are the sunshine, rain, and dew. The virtues of the heavens are in God's hands, and every loyal son may use those virtues and those powers. Man is the delegate of God to do his will on earth, and man can heal the sick, control the spirits of the air, and raise the dead. Because I have the power to do these things is nothing strange. All men may gain the power to do these things, but they must conquer all the passions of the lower self, and they can conquer if they will. There is no deeper death than ignorance and disbelief, but all will someday hear the voice of God made plain by voice of man and live. You all will know that you are sons of God, and by the sacred word may do the works of God. When you have come to life, that is, have come to realize that you are sons of God, you who have lived this life of right will open up your eyes on fields of life. But you who love the ways of sin will in this resurrection stand before a judgment bar and be condemned to pay the debts you owe to men and to yourselves. For whatsoever you have done amiss must be performed again and yet again until you reach the stature of the perfect man. But in due time, the lowest and the highest will arise to walk in light. So, what that talks about at the end is our karmic cycle that we're in. When he talks about sin, it's not what we learned in the Bible or in our religious days. It's what we've done to ourselves that we have to keep coming back in and doing over again, all right? This is us coming into our own knowing of who we truly are and being able to claim our gifts and claim who we are and then to offer to the rest of the world, as he said, through man, right? Us, light workers, to be able to claim themselves. And that's when everything changes. So I about fell over when I read that piece because I've been, like I said, having a lot of information come through. I've had this channel come through, which is really kind of a stepping stone into understanding a lot more detail. I'm going to have more information coming from the conversation with Jennifer that I just had, which I'm going to split into 2 videos, I think. But I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope this helps you on your journey forward. And I hope to keep unraveling the information that keeps coming my way to be able to tell more of a story for you guys. Again, I love your comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. I learned from you, as I've always said, as much as hopefully you learned from the Light Keepers and me. And with that, I'm going to leave you with my services, purplerainhealing.com, where I channel in all of my services for your life journey. And we deal with past lives, current life journey, and future potentials. So just know that what I do with you is I work to unfold gateways of energy for you to travel through in your life journey by unfolding information for you that I channel from your guides, your higher self, and your angels. So check out purplerainhealing.com, where you can choose from services of spiritual awakening, mentoring, channeled documents, channeled phone sessions, and distance energy healing. And thank you again. I will see you next week in my video with Jennifer, which will hopefully unfold more of this information.